welcome back to the Blu-ray Brothers channel. It is first watch on a Sunday once again, and this is an all-star special. All three of us are appearing in this video. All three of us are watching a film from the 1920s that we haven't seen before. So without further ado, we're going to head over right now to Robbie's first watch.
Hey guys, Robbie Webster here, and tonight I'm doing another first watch video for the Blu-ray Brothers channel. And tonight I'm going to be watching a silent film. It's something that I've heard of many times and that recently my friend Luke was telling me about, telling me how amazing it is and how it's now one of his favorite films. And I haven't ever seen it, obviously, and I'm kind of tired if you can't tell. I've been up for probably like 30 hours right now. Night shift is messing me up, but I need to try to stay up, so I'm going to watch this. It's not very long. It's only an hour and 18 minutes, and it was made in 1926. It's The General. Did I already say that? Yeah, let's watch it. As you can see here, I have a little snack. It's Butterfinger. It's Edie's brand Butterfinger ice cream. And if you're wondering, this mattress is up here because I have a really good air conditioner in here, and it's really hot. And so, since I sleep during the day, it's sometimes easier for me to sleep in this room. But I just have had the mattress in here for a while. But yeah, let's watch The General. So far, pretty amazing. The fact that they even filmed all this, it's just like insane choreography and stuff. Like I don't even know how they did all this stuff, but it's really, really well done. Fantastic Buster Keaton movie so far. I'm really enjoying it. Okay, so I just finished The General, and man, that's an amazing film. Definitely the best Buster Keaton film I've ever seen, and as with many of his movies, he wrote and directed this as well as starring in it. His physical comedy is amazing as always. Yeah, this is definitely the best one I've seen. I'd give this movie a 10 out of 10. It's really, really good. It's about a man who is an engineer, and his engine is called the General. And his train, if you don't know, and he goes to visit his fiance, and while he's there, the Civil War breaks out, so he goes to enlist in the Confederate Army, and they won't take him because they say he's too valuable in his current job, but they don't tell him that, so he just thinks he's rejected and whatever. And then his fiance thinks he's just being a coward, so she dumps him. And a year later, a bunch of Union spies end up stealing his train. Chewie, I'm trying to do a review. Can you be quiet, please? Please? Alright, anyways. Yeah, a bunch of Union soldiers or spies, they steal the train, and he takes off in pursuit by himself, and basically on a one-man mission to beat the Union Army, and also to save his fiance, who actually was on the train that they stole at the time. So, really, really funny movie, great comedy, great story. I absolutely loved it, and I'm really glad that I finally watched it. So thanks, Luke, for basically forcing me to watch this. You've been talking about it so much, I just had to check it out, and I really enjoyed it. Thanks for watching, guys.
Okay, so this is my first watch, and yeah, bad lighting, but this is the first watch. We don't care about lighting. We don't care about shaving. All we care about is watching a film for the first time. And the one I'm going to pick is one I almost did in my silent movie marathon, which was essentially a almost 2-hour first watch of 8 different films. But I have another film from the 20s I was almost going to do in that marathon, but it's really long, so I decided against it, and I figured I'd do this now. But I'm going to try and do it quickly, even though it's a really long film. I'm probably going to have lots to say about it, but I'd be willing to bet that at some point in the future we'll be doing a Fritz Lang week. Yes, it is a Fritz Lang film, and here it is. Going handheld for this one, nothing too special, just a quick look at this. It's Die Nibelungen from Fritz Lang, 1924. I love this artwork from one of the original posters, I believe. This is number 46 in the Masters of Cinema collection. The lighting is really terrible, I apologize for that. It's loaded with special features, and where's the running time? 282 minutes, so that's what, 4 hours and 42 minutes? Yeah. It's a two-part film, and I kind of consider this to be something of a beginning to Fritz Lang's epic trilogy. It's not really, I don't think anyone refers to it as that, but you know, he did Die Nibelung in 1924, this is a fantasy film, and in 1927 he did Metropolis, which was kind of a science fiction with fantastical elements, and then in 1929 he did Frau im Mond, which was a very serious science fiction, but an epic nonetheless. And I believe that's really the only time he's done fantasy and sci-fi, is those three huge films. The only things I've seen anyway have been kind of more crime thrillers, so interested to check this out. I'm a huge fan of Metropolis, huge fan of Frau im Mond, and I hope I'll be a huge fan of this after this video, so let's pop it in. Okay, here we go, Die Nibelungen. Got a couple of sandwiches ready, I'm good to go. Just read on the screen that a heavy restoration has been kind of taken out to really restore this film to how it originally looked. Because they didn't have the original camera negatives and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, you can read that up, but yeah. Apparently along the lines of Metropolis in terms of restoring a film. So I'm really interested to see how this is going to look. Okay, so I'm about an hour into Die Nibelungen, Part 1, Siegfried, and yeah, I'm really loving it so far. I started nodding off around 40 minutes in. It's mainly because I'm tired, not because I'm bored. So I had to keep rewinding bits because I don't want to miss a second, really. I'm really enjoying the story, though I was surprised that in the first 20 minutes we see the big dragon, which I thought was the set piece at the end of the first part of the film. But it happened right at the beginning. So I really, again, I've got no idea where it's going, and but I'm really enjoying it so far. And just the scope and the size of all the sets and how amazing they look is just fantastic, and the tinting as well. It really gives it a magical quality, I think, and just adds to the whole feel of the fantasy, I think. So yeah, really enjoying it so far. Alright, so 2 hours and 29 minutes, and that's the end of Die Nibelungen Part 1, Siegfried. As you can see there, you have the option to play stereo score or 5.1 surround, and a beautiful image there of Siegfried and Kriemhild, his eventual wife in the film. So yeah, 2 hours and 2.5 hours after you know, the film started, and we reached its conclusion, and I absolutely loved it. It was just visually amazing. The sets were out of this world, the lighting, the tinting again, added a whole element to it and made it really fantastical. And wow, yeah, just it looked great. The music was fantastic. I really liked the story. At times at the beginning, it kind of reminded me a little bit of it had a bit of a Star Wars / Lord of the Rings kind of vibe. It even says in the back cover, you know, a fantasy cycle that predates Star Wars and Lord of the Rings, but there really was not much from Star Wars. It was really just this little hut at the beginning that reminded me of Yoda's for you know, a brief moment. But Lord of the Rings was definitely something I felt while watching the film, and the scenery and stuff. And one of my favourite parts of the film, and again, I'm not going to go to the full part of the plot or anything, because you can look it up, and I don't want to drag this video on too long with my part, but was when they all went to the castle surrounded by fire, where Brunhild was, and when King Gunther was trying to, he had to kind of beat her in 3 different kind of contests to, you know, win her hand in marriage kind of thing, and she was like a real badass. And I just really like that whole, was it canto, I think? The film is separated into acts. I'll just select one now, and I'll get the actual, the third canto, yeah. And what I loved as well was that the original intertitles for the third canto, the fourth canto, the fifth canto, if you see here, this is the third canto, and I believe this is the one I was just talking about. And the biggest letter had like a little image inside it, and that image there is kind of the dragon ship that they used to cross the sea and go to where the castle on fire is. So lovely little details like that I thought were fantastic. And again, the story. The main thing I was reminded of was Game of Thrones, because after the adventure of the first hour 20 minutes, something like that, you really settle down into, everyone being at the castle and all the characters and kind of this kind of a little bit of a power struggle and mind games going on, and yeah, it really settles down into more of a kind of human drama with just a great backdrop, I think. And yeah, the ending of the film was brilliant, and again, I've heard the second part is not as strong as the first, and I'm very interested to check it out. So I'm just going to go right into it now, actually, and pop in disc 2 because they've very I was going to say very kindly then, but I can't think of the word. It's very good that they split the film over 2 discs. I mean, the main film is like running at about 35 megabytes per second, which is incredible. They've split the film onto 250 gigabyte discs, so it's just the best quality they could possibly have on Blu-ray. So anyway, yeah, I'm going to pop in the second disc and carry on this film. Into part 2 of Die Nibelungen we go. Okay, it is now 2 days after I finished watching Die Nibelungen. I took a break. I'd almost finished the whole thing, and then I watched the last 45 minutes quite late at night, so I couldn't really film. So yeah, took a few days to kind of process it and think about it a little bit more, talk about it with a few people as well. And overall, I absolutely loved it. I would give it a 10 out of 10. I think it's another Fritz Lang epic. Not for everyone. I mean, his Metropolis, I'd say, is his kind of career-defining film that I would recommend that anyone see. But this one's a bit more of a tough slog. 282 minutes long, a 2-part film. Part 1 Siegfried, Part 2 Kriemhild's Rache, which is Kriemhild's revenge, and it's all about her character's vengeance being, exactly basically, and it's quite a different kind of pace than the first film. But I loved, kind of watching it and thinking of it as one film, one big epic story, broken up into acts and 2 films, I guess. And I think the 2 films were released separately within like 2 months of each other. So again, if you just think about a modern equivalent, would be like Kill Bill, I guess. But overall, I could review this film so really in depth. But I'm just gonna keep it quick for this and just say that I absolutely loved it, 10 out of 10. And I'll probably do a full review of it at some point on one of my channels, on this channel or my main channel, because I got a lot to say about it. But overall, very quickly, I absolutely loved it. Great film. Reminded me of Game of Thrones at times, kind of like the medieval kind of the plotting and deception and stuff, and a lot of character-based things. But the scope of it and the sets, the production design, the special effects were all amazing for its time as well, 1924. Overall, Die Nibelungen was amazing. So yeah, that was my first watch, and now we'll head over to Ryan's first watch.
Hey everybody, Ryan here, coming at you with my first watch video for this week. And this week I'm watching, I think it was 1921 is when this film came out, 21 or 22, and it's Buster Keaton in the short film Cops. And as you can see, I got it on the TV. It's about a little after 7 in the morning, so I decided to wake up and just watch it now. So let's go ahead and watch it. Wow, I just got done watching Cops. I think it's just plural, Cops, by Buster Keaton, and I'm a huge Buster Keaton fan, so I can't believe I hadn't seen this short. It's about 18 to 20 minutes long. But man, it was hilarious. It was so awesome. It was classic Buster Keaton. The stunts were like, the physically crazy stunts that he did, and it's just spectacular. I mean, there's this one scene where he's just standing and a car goes by, and to get away from these cops, he just grabs onto the back of the car and his body literally swings up and goes out of the shot. I was like, gosh, man. That guy is, in the general, has always been one of my favorite movies of all time. I love a lot of the Buster Keaton main films that he did, but a lot of his shorts are what I really missed out on making sure I watched. So I'm going to be watching a lot more Buster Keaton shorts. So yeah, I'm really excited about that because this one was incredibly rewarding. I laughed out loud. It was just amazing. It was such a great film. And the amount of work that's put into his films. I mean, literally he's being chased by every cop in the entire town. And it's so hilarious because it's like 300, 400 guys running after him. And he always seems to outsmart them somehow. Yeah, so basically he's about a guy who runs into a guy on the street who gets kicked out of his apartment, or gets kicked out of his family's house, and all that stuff, and his family's out on the street, and so he packs up, and Keaton helps him out by, like, taking the horse and cart that has all of his stuff on it, and just driving it to wherever he's moving. And then that's when a chase starts, and that's when all this other circumstances happen. It is awesome, and then the ending is perfect. I literally laughed out loud at the ending. It was awesome. It was definitely a 10 out of 10 Buster Keaton film, so I'm highly glad I watched it.
Okay, so that was all of our first watch segments of this video. I hope you enjoyed it. 1920s week has been awesome. Yeah, I've really enjoyed everything we've done this week. I think all three of us did great videos. Robbie's skit for the Cabinet Dr. Caligari was awesome. It was like a short film, just brilliant. He did a great job with that. I was quite proud of him as well because he's really coming along with his editing and filming skits and stuff. Ryan's was really good too. The Nosferatu skit, really atmospheric and reminiscent of the film. That was another really good one. Then I did my silent movie marathon, the 2-hour video, 2-hour special, which I'm surprised if people watched it because it's quite a niche thing, silent films. But a lot of people watched it, which was great, and I enjoyed the how the skit turned out. I was quite happy with it in the end, even though I wasn't quite sure where it was going to go when I was making it. And then we had Matt doing the guest spot yesterday, reviewing Metropolis and talking about it for the first time and showing the Blu-ray. That was another great video. Overall, 1920s week has been awesome, but next week's theme will be focused on a director again. So I'll head you over to Ryan now, and he'll tell you what next week's theme will be, and it will be...
Now, the announcement for next week. I wanted to pick the theme for this coming week, and I picked my favorite director of all time, and that is Alfred Hitchcock. So this coming week is Alfred Hitchcock week. Got some awesome ideas already for skits and stuff like that. We're all going to be putting in a video. Got a guest lined up. It's going to be an awesome, fun-filled week. I've really loved this week so far. 20s week has been amazing and overwhelmingly awesome. I love it. I just have had so much fun. See, we put videos up on this channel, but we watch every single one of our videos, so we have just as much fun as you, the viewers, have. Because it's like, I don't know. I don't see Robbie's videos, or I don't see Luke's videos until Monday or Wednesday as well. So it's like, another channel that I watch. So thank you very much for your support, and I hope you're excited about Alfred Hitchcock week. So I will see you guys next week. Take care.